Welcome to our deep dive into the always exciting world of AI. Today we're going to be taking a whirlwind tour of the latest and greatest developments. And we've got a really interesting report as our base for this deep dive. It's called Actualizaciones y Tendencias en IA, Modelos, Herramientas y Aplicaciones.
Sounds fascinating.
It is, trust me. We're going to be talking about some pretty intense debates on model supremacy. We'll also get into the billions of dollars that are flooding into AI. And of course, we'll take a look at the actual tools that are changing the game.
I think my favorite topic right now is the battle for model supremacy. It's like a high-stakes competition.
It really is. You've got GPT 4.5, Claude 3.7, and DeepSeek R1 all vying for the top spot.
Yeah.
But it's not just about winning those benchmarks.
Yeah, you've got a point there. There's a lot of people talking about whether benchmarks actually capture the true capabilities of these models. Take GPT 4.5, for instance. It's consistently topping the charts. But there are some whispers that it might be overfitting to those tests.
So it's basically acing the tests, but might not be so great in the real world.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's that friend who's amazing at trivia night, but can't remember where they park their car.
I know a few people like that.
And then you have Claude 3.7. It's been gaining a lot of traction with users. But interestingly enough, its code was recently extracted.
Wow, a real-life AI heist.
It really is.
What does that even mean for the future of open source AI?
I don't really know. It definitely adds another layer of complexity to the conversation.
It sure does. And we can't forget DeepSeek R1. It's holding its own against these giants. It even achieved a joint top ranking with GPT 4.5 on some particularly tough prompts.
That's impressive.
It's a real testament to the fact that there's more than one way to build a powerful AI.
Absolutely. I think this diversity in approaches is really crucial for the long-term advancement of AI. It encourages innovation and prevents us from getting stuck in just one paradigm.
Definitely. And speaking of fueling innovation, the sheer amount of money pouring into AI is just mind-blowing. Anthropic just raised a staggering $3.5 billion. That puts their valuation at an astronomical $61.5 billion.
Wow. That's a lot of money.
It is.
I guess it just highlights the immense potential that investors see in AI. It's not just about profits, it's about reshaping entire industries.
Yeah.
And tackling some of humanity's greatest challenges.
But with that much money flowing in, is there a risk? Could it lead to a concentration of power in the hands of just a few huge companies? Could it stifle competition and innovation in the long run?
Those are all valid concerns. It is important to have a diverse and competitive AI ecosystem to ensure that progress benefits everyone, not just a select few.
Couldn't have said it better myself. You know, with all this talk about these amazing models and this ridiculous amount of money, it might make it seem like AI is just a game for the big players. But it's the tools and frameworks that are empowering the developers to actually build the future.
You're absolutely right. Think of it like this. You have these incredibly powerful models, but they need the right tools to unlock their true potential.
Like LaMDX, for example. It's been making huge waves because of its ability to extract information from so many different sources. It can even handle resumes now, which could make the hiring process a lot smoother.
And there's Synalinx, too. It's a brand new framework that's inspired by Keras. And it aims to make developing apps with LLMs simpler and more intuitive.
So it's like translating AI into a language that more developers can understand.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
like that.
And then there's Cursor, which is this new IDE that's designed specifically for working with AI models. People are loving it because of its really user-friendly interface and its ability to speed up coding workflows like crazy.
It sounds like a developer's dream come true. No more clunky interfaces or slow processing times.
Exactly. And then we have something a bit more mysterious, Gibberlink. It allows for encrypted communication between AI agents.
Oh, wow. So what are they planning?
We may never know.
Maybe they're just sharing recipes.
Maybe.
Well, speaking of pushing the boundaries, AI research is where things get really mind-blowing. Researchers at Metafair and BCBL are actually working on tech that could let us read someone's thoughts directly from their brain activity.
Whoa, seriously. That sounds straight out of science fiction.
It does, doesn't it? But this research has massive implications for accessibility and communication, especially for people who have lost the ability to speak or move. Imagine being able to share your thoughts and feelings directly from your brain.
That would be incredible.
It would. But surely there are ethical considerations with something this powerful, right?
Of course, of course. With any tech this groundbreaking, especially one that delves into the human mind, we have to be super careful and consider the ethical implications.
Definitely. It's not just about what we can do, but what we should do. And this research is just the beginning. We're also seeing crazy advancements in diffusion models, reasoning LLMs, and sim-to-real reinforcement learning.
It's a truly exhilarating time to be following the world of AI research.
It really is.
Yeah.
And all this isn't just happening in labs. We're starting to see these advancements turn into real-world applications, applications that are impacting our lives right now. We'll dive deeper into those in the next part of our deep dive, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the fascinating world of AI.
It's really amazing to think about all the progress that's being made. And we've only just scratched the surface when it comes to real-world applications.
Absolutely. From tackling these huge scientific challenges to simplifying everyday tasks, AI is changing things so quickly.
In the last part, we were talking about the mind-blowing research happening in labs. But let's shift gears a little bit and talk about how AI is being used to solve real-world problems right now.
Sounds good to me.
One area where AI is really making an impact is in research itself.
Oh, that's interesting.
So AI is being used to help us understand AI even better.
You got it. Tools like Deep Review by SciSpace are totally changing the way researchers do literature reviews. Imagine sifting through thousands of scientific papers and extracting the key findings that are relevant to your work. And all of that in a matter of minutes.
That sounds amazing,
Yeah.
especially for anyone who's ever had to go through mountains of research.
It's a game changer. It frees up so much time for researchers to focus on analysis and experimentation.
And it's not just about saving time, right?
Right.
AI can also help researchers find patterns and connections they might have missed otherwise.
Oh, for sure. AI algorithms can analyze these massive data sets and uncover hidden relationships, which leads to new insights and breakthroughs.
So AI is not just helping us work faster, it's actually helping us think smarter.
Exactly. And this applies to way more than just research. We're seeing AI being integrated into all sorts of workflows, like coding, design, project management, you name it.
Yeah. And speaking of coding, there's been so much buzz around AI-powered tools that are changing how developers work. Tools like Cursor, for example. It's an IDE that's built specifically for AI development.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
It seems like developers are loving it. It's got a really intuitive interface and some powerful features, so it's making it easier for them to streamline their workflows and write better code faster.
Yeah, it's like having an AI pair programmer right there with you, offering suggestions and catching errors before they become huge problems.
That's awesome.
And as these tools keep getting better, we can expect even more help and automation in the coding process.
It makes you wonder if one day we'll all be working with AI to create amazing things.
It's definitely a possibility. We're already starting to see this with the rise of multi-agent systems.
Multi-agent systems? That sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
Imagine a world where AI agents can talk to each other and work together, forming these complex networks of intelligence.
So like a team of AI superheroes, each with their own unique skills, working together to solve problems.
That's a great way to put it, and that's where the Model Context Protocol, or MCP, comes in. It's a framework that lets these AI agents share information and coordinate their actions, like a hive mind.
Wow. That's both fascinating and a little bit intimidating. What are the potential implications of this multi-agent revolution?
Well, for one, it opens up a whole new world of automation. Imagine AI agents handling all sorts of complex tasks, like scheduling appointments, managing your money, even planning your vacations.
So basically AI butlers who can take care of all the boring stuff.
Pretty much. But it goes beyond personal assistance. Multi-agent systems could totally change industries like healthcare, finance, and transportation. Imagine AI agents coordinating traffic flow, optimizing energy grids, even assisting with medical diagnoses.
Wow. It sounds like we're on the verge of a major shift in the way we live and work.
Absolutely. But as with any major technological leap, there are challenges.
Like what kind of challenges are we talking about?
Well, security is a big one. When you have tons of AI agents talking to each other, it creates vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities that hackers could exploit.
Oh, so it's like the AI version of hacking into a network.
You could say that. It's something we need to be very aware of. Researchers are working hard to develop strong security measures to protect these systems.
And what about unintended consequences? Could these AI agents make decisions we don't understand or agree with?
That's another valid concern. It's really important to make sure AI systems align with human values and goals. We need ways to monitor their behavior and step in if necessary.
So it's not just about building smart AI, it's about building trustworthy AI.
Exactly. Trust and transparency are key for people to accept and adopt these technologies.
That makes sense. So it seems like there's a lot to think about when it comes to multi-agent systems.
Definitely. It's a rapidly evolving field. I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more about it in the future.
I bet we will. Speaking of transformative tech, we can't forget about diffusion models. They're making a lot of noise with their ability to create super realistic images, videos, even audio.
Oh yeah, diffusion models are really cool. They're changing how we create content. Imagine starting with just random noise and then gradually refining it into a photorealistic image. That's what diffusion models can do.
It's like magic. How does it even work?
Well, it's a bit technical, but basically, diffusion models learn to reverse a process of adding noise. They start with a noisy image and slowly remove the noise until you get a clear, realistic output.
So it's like taking a blurry image and slowly bringing it into focus.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. And the results are amazing. They're being used to make incredible art, generate 3D models, even enhance medical images.
So many applications.
Absolutely. We're already seeing them being used across tons of industries, from entertainment to healthcare to manufacturing.
But with all this power comes responsibility, right? We've seen what deepfakes can do, spreading misinformation and fooling people. How can we make sure diffusion models are used ethically?
That's a great question. We need to come up with safeguards and regulations to prevent this tech from being misused. Transparency and accountability are super important.
Definitely. It's important to remember that AI is just a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or bad.
I agree. It's up to us to guide its development and make sure it benefits humanity.
Well said. Now, before we move on, I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier, the search for alternatives to traditional GPUs in AI development. What's driving this, what you call a hardware hustle?
It's all about finding the most efficient and cost-effective way to run these demanding AI models. GPUs can be really expensive and use a lot of energy, which is a problem for researchers and developers, especially those working on cutting-edge stuff.
So it's like trying to power a rocket ship with a bicycle engine. You need the right hardware to unlock the full potential of these AI models.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why there's so much excitement around things like TLang kernel. It's showing some really impressive speedups compared to what we have now.
That's awesome. What about AMD and Intel GPUs? Are they becoming real contenders to NVIDIA in the AI hardware world?
Oh, for sure. The competition is getting fierce, which is great for AI development. It pushes innovation, lowers costs, and makes performance better for everyone.
So it's a good time to be into hardware in the AI world.
Absolutely. We're seeing so many new hardware architectures and technologies pop up. It's an awesome time to be following how AI is evolving from both the software and hardware side.
This deep dive has been packed with so many insights, and we still have one more part to go. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back. To explore even more fascinating developments in the world of AI. Welcome back to the final part of our AI deep dive.
It's been a wild ride, hasn't it?
It really has.
From the newest models to multi-agent systems, we've covered a lot.
I'm really curious to see what else is coming.
Well, there's one more thing I think we should talk about. Reasoning LLMs.
Reasoning LLMs. What are those? How are they different from the other large language models we've talked about?
So traditional LLMs, they're great at things like generating text, translating languages, even writing code, but they often struggle with tasks that need really complex reasoning and logic.
I see.
It's kind of like the difference between following a recipe and actually understanding the science behind it.
That's a good analogy.
Reasoning LLMs are designed to go deeper, to actually understand the logic and connections between different concepts.
So they're not just mimicking human language, they're trying to mimic human thought.
Exactly. And that opens up some really interesting possibilities for fields like robotics, scientific discovery, even how humans and computers interact.
That's fascinating. Do you have any specific examples of how these reasoning LLMs are being used?
Yeah, definitely. One area where they're showing a lot of promise is robotics. Researchers are using them to build robots that can understand and respond to complex commands, robots that can navigate new environments and learn new things just by watching.
So we're talking about robots that are way more adaptable, intelligent, and hopefully less likely to bump into things.
Exactly. And it's not just physical robots either. These reasoning LLMs are also being used to develop virtual assistants that can understand and respond to natural language in a much more sophisticated way.
So instead of just giving you a pre-programmed answer, your virtual assistant could actually have a real conversation with you.
Yeah, exactly. They could understand what you really mean, even anticipate what you need.
That would be amazing.
It would. It has the potential to completely change how we use technology, making it more intuitive, personal, and human-centered.
Wow. It sounds like we're getting closer to a future where AI can understand and reason about the world just like we do.
That's the goal. And while we're not there yet, the progress in reasoning LLM research is really promising.
It's mind-blowing to think about all the possibilities. But as with any powerful tech, there are also potential risks and challenges, right?
Of course. We need to be really careful about things like bias, unintended consequences, and even misuse. It's so important to develop ethical guidelines and safety measures to make sure AI is used for good.
Yeah, that makes sense. It sounds like it's a responsibility that falls on all of us.
It does. Researchers, developers, policymakers, even everyday users of AI. We all have a part to play in shaping the future of AI and making sure it benefits humanity.
Well said. And with that, we've reached the end of our AI deep dive.
It's been a pleasure exploring these advancements with you.
We've talked about the latest models, tools, groundbreaking research, real-world applications. It's incredible how quickly this field is moving.
I agree. It's a truly exciting time to be following this technological revolution.
I definitely encourage everyone listening to keep learning and engaging with the world of AI. Who knows what amazing discoveries are just around the corner.
Keep that curiosity alive and stay tuned for more deep dives into the frontiers of knowledge.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, the future of AI is in our hands.